if you ever if you ever want somebody to manage your account, first thing you don't do is send them your capital. You never, ever, even if you're on here, you had your account managed by me. You never send me your capital. I will never accept your capital ever. One, I can lose my license. It's illegal. You never do it. Never, ever do it. The only thing that you can do is provide them with the access to trade your account. Now, the reason why people do that is because when you send them your money, they're gonna go to MT4. They work with shitty brokers. The brokers are gonna create trades on the account to show that they lost, so they can just show you that they lost your money. But again, how did you lose 100% of an account? It makes no sense in one trade. So now it's like, so again, if somebody is offering account management services, if they're charging you really like outrageous fees, with my account management, I really just stick around that 18% that you pay me, because I'm just leveraging your capital. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm entering the same positions on my account. So I'm like, if somebody's trying to get like 50% of your profits from an account management, that's like bullshit. Stay away from it. It's different when it's a prop firm because it's their capital, so the risk is on them. When it comes to personal funds, the risk is on you. So y'all have to understand risk factors when it comes to investing money and things like that. So I don't want to take up too much of y'all time. This is like my first live. I would definitely do this more. I'm not a big guy that do stuff like this, but I wanted to introduce myself to you guys as the owner of TruTrader. This is my brand. This is my company. I'm 100% the owner in this company. I have no equity partners. I built this company from the ground up, and I'm super excited as a black man to own a prop firm that are liberating people. This is like bigger than you guys even being a subscriber to the service. Like it's so impactful in lives of people that you guys probably won't even meet that can utilize this service. So if you are on here and if you want to use this service, I'm going to tell you it's going to be the best thing for you. Especially join my community, guys. My community to join is completely free. You can interact with other traders in our community. You can talk. You can ask me Aurelio questions. We'll answer your questions. If you are confused with fundamentals, we will still like help you. I drop fundamentals all day long, guys. Like I drop them all day long. I'm like the biggest fundamental person. So if you're not doing your fundamental due diligence, you always can depend on me for that. But I'll tell you, only trade, and that's another thing. Y'all don't even know why y'all trade certain things. I only trade currency pairs that are affected by two indexes, Japanese basket and DXY. So I really only focus on JPY pairs and USD pairs. So how to join our community? If you go to the Forex Connect and you go to our website and you enroll in the academy, on the dashboard, you can click on the tab to join the community. Once you join the community, you're in there. We have over 500 people that are active in the community. In the academy, we have over 8,000 students. Our academy is completely free. We actually had a server problem because we have so many people now. Ever since I moved to South Africa, FXC has like, oh my gosh, so big now. So someone said, are you a fundamental or technical? Okay, so I'll tell y'all this. I don't even waste my time on candlesticks. Like never. I'm not a candlestick person. I don't look at candlesticks. I look at line charts. The reason why I look at line charts is because two things. They show you the strongest support and resistance level. That's why most people, when they buy and sell, when they buy stocks and hold stocks, they don't look at candlesticks. They look at line graphs. The only reason why I convert over to candlesticks to look for gaps, especially on indices. There are on line graphs, on line charts, they don't show gaps, but they show you the strongest support and resistance level. And you always want to buy and sell based on the market conditions, closest to previous structure as possible, depending on the momentum of the market. So line charts help me find my entries better because it's the strongest support and resistance level, and it's easier to read the price action. Candlesticks is just too much. I think all beginner traders are on candlesticks. I don't even look at them damn things whatsoever. Rolio looks at candlesticks for confirmations. I don't even pay attention to them. So I do have a technical. We do have a technical strategy, but guys, if you invest more in line charts, I'm telling you, you're gonna see way more success because on that line chart, you're literally gonna be buying in the middle of like fucking liquidity. But on a candlestick, you probably think you're sitting at a support or resistance level. So take my advice and get on that line chart. Stop trying to remember these candlestick names. Stop trying to remember these patterns. You're gonna learn too much and you're gonna know nothing, if that makes sense. Sometimes you can learn too much and know nothing. And if you learn little, you'll know exactly what you need to know. So if any advice you can take from me, start learning how to find your entries on the line charts, not on candlesticks. Like, don't do it. Please don't do that. The next thing, invest more into fundamentals. The first thing you need to do at the top of every week is this. What am I trading this week? When you figure that out, you start with the indexes. What indexes do you want to look at? Because that's one thing we know as true traders. The index correlates with the currency pair. So if the stock market of that economy is going up, if the stock market is going up in that economy, then obviously the economy is falling. You would never have a rising economy and a rising stock market because the yield is not curving and you need the yield to curve. Again, somebody has to make money to lose money. When the economy comes down, people lose. Also when the economy goes up, people are about to start losing because that's inflation. They lose purchasing power, and then the economy falls. But when the stock market falls, then the businesses are losing. Well, and then they get bailed out by the government. So it's like they really didn't take a loss. The people, the middle class that bought that stock when it was high, those are the people that's losing. So your grandma, your uncle, those are the people that's considered the middle class. And what they did was they bought the stock when it was low and now it's high. And because they're not educated on how this works, they bought it too high. So now when the economy starts to increase, the stock falls. So now you're going to start seeing a ton of elderly people or old people that were now retired going back into the workforce. But now they're going back into the workforce while inflation is high and wages are low. So that's how the rich stay rich and the poor stay poor. That's like the basics. So I hope you guys can apply this information on your trading strategy. At the top of the week, figure out what indexes you want to look at, and from those indexes, make your trading decision on the currency pair. But always figure out what fundamental data is going to come out. But this is another thing I tell my students. Never trade the news. People who trade the news are not traders. Never, ever trade the news. Never trade the news. What you do is this. You forecast the news and you find your entries based on the fundamental news that's been out to forecast your entry before. If you always understand this, the news is never going to play out exactly how it's released because that's how retail traders think. The market moves based on speculation and data. Majority of the volatility in the market comes from speculation, but the major volatility comes from data. So you may see NFP come out and it came out exactly what was forecast. The market is going to react to the speculation first. It's going to react to the speculation. So if you bought or if you sold because it was positive or something, you're the one that's going to lose your money because you're now the speculation has to swipe the liquidity. So your stop loss is my entry. It's kind of like how this works for retail traders. So you always want to find your entries way before that data come out. So that pullback don't affect your entry. That speculation don't affect your entry. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying when I say that. I know it can be a bit confusing. somebody said basically showing your hand. Exactly. Like I tell people, trading is like diving in the ocean and riding the wave. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to dive in the ocean and swim against the wave. Like, it's like the wrong thing to do. In the market, there is no secret society or secret group chat that is like, oh my gosh, she just opened a sell position on USD. Let's empty her account. The market don't work like that. It don't work like that at all. It's no secret society. It's no secret group chat that's trading against you. The only people that's trading against you are unregulated brokers. They are trading against you as soon as you hit buy or sell. As soon as you place a buy, they're selling. They're hedging against you because 99% of the time they're gonna make money. How often do you trade per week? It varies. I'm in the charts pretty much daily, but I only enter positions when it's an opportunity. So that's another thing. You always gotta have eyes on the charts, or you gotta set your you have to set your orders when you're trading, because 80% of trading is just fucking waiting, y'all. Last week I was waiting for this entry on Nas, and it took an entire week for the gap to fill. And I told all my friends, they all sold. Listen, I told them all, I said, why are y'all selling below a gap? That shit makes no sense, because every gap goes before the next breakout. So they're like, no, bro, it's gonna keep falling. So guess what we do? Me and my business partner, we caught the beautiful short-term buy entry, and we smashed like 4,000 pips. And then the gap closed, and their stop loss was my entry, and I entered another sell on Nas, but it took 4 days. Listen, 4 days for that entry to come. So there is not always opportunities in the market. You have to sit on your hands. That's why there are a ton of currency pairs that you can analyze and look at, and you figure it out. Someone said, what style of trading do you use to teach? We only focus on price action. That's it. We don't draw lines. We don't draw. Some of the stuff these people teach y'all, I swear, is like an art class, because our charts are probably clean as day. Like, they're extremely clean. I don't draw trend lines. I'm not an institutional trader. I don't believe in those terms. I don't believe in that narrative. I think that's just a way for traders to give themselves cool names and cool titles. I'm a trader who trades simple price action and fundamental data. I just love fundamental data because data does not lie. Well, it can lie if you have a corrupt government, but it should make sense over time. You get what I'm saying? So the data is going to align. You just have to be on the data side. Somebody said, if you don't use technicals, it's the primary concept of the course. No, so we do teach technicals. I have a business partner, and we teach what our stronghold is. So my stronghold is fundamentals. His stronghold is technical analysis. So how do you know where to place your SF if your start is clean? If you go to the line chart, brother, and you realize, when you realize what support and resistance really is and not using candlesticks, you will know exactly where to place your stop loss. Because once market structure breaks, then you need to get out the trade. A stop loss isn't something that you just throw on a chart because you want to make three. And some people tell you, I don't even trade with the stop loss. It's not my thing. I trade with price alerts. But my price alerts is kind of set where my stop loss will be set. The reason why I don't use stop losses, and you guys should, well, I want to tell y'all that, but I don't suggest using stop losses because it's kind of like telling a broker, I'm okay with losing this amount of money. So I just don't do it. And brokers are very manipulative, especially if they're using MT4. They will open a spread this big, and your spread will hit your stop loss, and price never even went there. That has happened to me numerous of times. If you guys have been following me for a while, I've called out the broker that did it. The broker then told me, I asked him, I said, where do you pull your data from? Because why would a spread be 10 pips in the middle of the day? Like, it just don't make any sense. So yeah, stop loss hunt is a really, really big thing. Again, you want to, if you jump in the middle of the ocean with a big light on your head, somebody can easily find you. Same thing I think about trading, because the ocean is the liquidity. You have to jump in that motherfucker and hide. And you have to hide with proper risk management. You hide with the right entry, and you just hide. That is all what this is. You have to learn how to be number 2 and not number 1. It's always okay to be in second place. It's okay. The big banks are going to be in first place. You can't trade like them. You can't trade against them because you don't know how they trade. We will never know how they trade. The only thing we can do is look at market structure and look at data for us to take advantage of the opportunities in the market. That is the freedom of trading. It's nothing else. Y'all gonna just lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and lose and lose if you go on YouTube and you say, someone said, this is our year, guys. We're all going to have a good December. Yes, yes, yes. I want a community of people that are just getting profits, that are making profits. You know, someone said ATR is Arsenio to place. How do you talk about risk management if you trade without stop loss? Because just because I don't trade with the stop loss don't mean I have risk management. So if you understand how the market moves,